Hey guys, it's Soralum1. I spent the past weekend at New York Comic Con and I had a blast. I was able to meet lots of people, try a bunch of new things, and most importantly, play a lot of the Kingdom Hearts 0.2 demo that they had on the show floor. It was a great time and one of the best weekends of my life. But now that I'm back at home sweet home, I can take all of the Kingdom Hearts footage I recorded and finally feel like I know what's going on with Kingdom Hearts 0.2's gameplay. I was actually really impressed with a lot of the things I had played, and made so many new discoveries that I'm going to share with you all today. I'm going to go over everything, so I'll probably tell you some things that you already know about the demo, but I'm also confident that I discovered a few things and made brand new comparisons that there should be something new for everyone. So sit back, relax, and let's all talk about this 0.2 demo. Before I truly get started, I wanted to make a mild disclaimer. All of the gameplay footage shown here is my own, with me playing, and we all have to remember that this is a demo, not the full game. Anything talked about with this demo could be subject to change or improve with the final release. Remember that. So let's start off with the graphics. I do want to say that any recordings on the internet don't really do it justice. For example, Terra doesn't look like a terrible monster in person, but on most camera recordings he looks pretty bad. Also, by the lighting in these scenes, I could immediately tell, and I'm sure you can too, that the build we got here to play at Comic Con is the same as the build that was shown off at E3 2016. Nomura actually said that the build for TGS 2016 was better with lighting improvements, and we can all see that, but this one here is still the old demo. But even so, I can still appreciate it, and I think this looks really good, and it just gets me excited that the final game has the potential to look way better than this. While still on the subject of graphics, let's talk about Aqua's character model. So in all the past Kingdom Hearts games and cutscenes, we have a high polygon detailed model for characters, and we also have a flat, lower quality model known by some as the fish face. Well, in the new Kingdom Shader style, this model difference still holds true. Aqua has a very nice, detailed model that actually resembles her CGI counterpart, but she also has scenes where you can see her lower quality model, and this is the same model that we see for her in her gameplay. It is definitely not a fish face, but it is different from the high quality one. And having that during gameplay and far shots of scenes is still completely understandable, just saying that this is something that's not going away. Environments have always looked like perfection to me ever since we were shown gameplay on the Unreal Engine, and I love how magic spells now all affect the environment too. Fire leaves sparks lingering on the floor, blizzard leaves ice trails, and thunder causes lampposts to surge and flicker. If Aqua's standing over a shiny surface, you can actually see her reflection under her. Awesome detail all around. Next, let's take a look at the HUD. When I move around with the D-pad, the commands are all extremely responsive, just like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. The command menu is blue when you're in a safe area and becomes yellow when you are in battle. There is no time where the command menu turns red in this demo, but we've already seen that in the TGS trailer. The HP bar, MP bar, scan, focus, everything works properly. I do have a suspicion that you have double MP in this demo. Everything definitely feels like it takes less MP than it should, but hey, maybe that's just how the MP setup is in 0.2. Looking back at the command menu, I tested it for the demo and it seems like soft shortcutting commands doesn't work. What I mean by that is, in other games, let's say you know you want to use Blizzard later. You can go into your commands, highlight Blizzard, back out, and then when you go back, Blizzard will still be highlighted ready for you to use. In this demo, if you go highlight a command and then come back to the section after exiting, it will be reset to the top option. Not a big deal if it's only like this for the demo anyway. Looking at the actual shortcut menu you get when you hold down L1, we have 4 slots used for our 4 magic spells in the demo. But you can also use the D-pad to move up and down between tabs, and on the second tab it will display the items you can use. Reaction commands have returned, just for opening chests and activating the style change for Spellweaver. Now those of course are activated with the triangle button prompts. But I actually made a brand new discovery about reaction commands completely by accident while I was playing. So remember how in the TGS trailer we see Aqua have both the option to activate Fire Gun and Blizzagun, but somehow both of these techniques are mapped to the same triangle button? Like, how would that work? You can't pick out of the two with just the triangle button. It kind of makes no sense. Is Blizzagun just automatically shafted because Fire Gun is the one on top? Well, completely by accident, I stumbled upon the answer to this question. In the demo, I found a chest that had an ether. After I saw the ether, I decided that it would be nice to scroll up to my items and show it off in the items menu. So what I did was I pressed up on the D-pad, and then I pressed the X button, and oops, I activated Spellweaver. Yes, so when you have reaction commands on top of your command menu, you can press triangle to select them, or you can hit up on the D-pad and navigate through them manually and select them that way. And that's how you would select one out of the multiple reaction commands too. Pretty cool. Everything on the HUD feels really solid, lock-on works really well. I really like how when Aqua's locked onto an enemy, she actually turns her head to look at it at all times, little details like that. Alright, now let's look at the movement of the game. I would say movement overall is very fluid, and it's probably the best movement has been in all of the Kingdom Hearts series. You can run, and if you're running for more than, let's say, 3 seconds, Aqua will speed up and run faster to cover larger areas. On videos, many people did say it looks really weird, but when having played it, it felt totally natural, and I never felt like I was out of control going around, even when Aqua was running fast. Aqua's double flight and air slide abilities return from Birth by Sleep, and they're mostly the same, except now the air slide covers a larger distance than it did before. This must be to accommodate those larger worlds that this game must have in comparison to Birth by Sleep. There's also little things, like if you're running down a slope, Aqua will slide down instead of just running. If you're falling from a high area, Aqua will roll upon landing for impact. And if you see any areas in the environment with those Sly Cooper sparkles on it, you can just run forward and you'll get some parkour. In fact, even without the sparkles, you can auto jump over some areas by running against the walls for the jumps. You can also cast the Blizzard spell and have it leave a trail. Aqua can slide on the ice trail flow motion style. Here's the interesting thing here, it's not actual flow motion. Sure, it resembles it, but when you jump off or hit the attack button in the middle, Aqua will attack normally instead of like in Dream Drop Distance where you get a special flow motion type of attack because you attacked out of flow motion. I like this better, and I was never really too fond of the flow motion only attacks. Speaking of flow motion, this ice slide is the only part of the demo that resembles flow motion at all. You can try cartwheeling and air sliding into walls and you will get nothing else of the sort. In terms of dodging into walls at least, I like it because I hated in Dream Drop Distance where I would dodge and I would stick to a wall or a lamppost by accident. If I'm dodging, I'm trying to avoid things, not become wide open sticking to a wall. While walking around areas of the demo, Aqua will actually talk to herself and tell you about points of interest, like for this demo, where the gears are. If you're wandering around and you're completely going in the wrong direction, she'll also tell you that she doesn't think anything's this way. I think it's cool and it makes the character you're playing feel more alive. Alright, now let's get to the good stuff. Combat. First things first, the hot topic of the Kingdom Hearts community for a lot of people has been floatiness, and for good reason. Birth by Sleep was like the epitome of floaty, and ever since then it felt like all the Kingdom Hearts games released by the team have had that effect to some extent. Well, lucky for you guys, I was able to test out Aqua's floatiness in 0.2 and I'm actually quite happy with the difference. Take a look at this comparison. You'll see that Aqua strikes and lands about a half second earlier than she would in Birth by Sleep. It's a big improvement. Also, when I took a look in slow motion, I was able to see that Aqua on the final frames of her attack animation had already started heading downwards to the ground. This is the complete opposite of Birth by Sleep, where Aqua would complete her attack animation, stay in place, and then a fall animation would begin after, like two separate processes. For 0.2 though, I'm happy to say that the fall happens during the final frames of the attack, so it's a bit closer to Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Probably the floatiest thing in the demo that you can find though is Aqua's combo finisher. Her finisher is a beefed up version of the default finish command she had in Birth by Sleep, but now it works as your ground and air finisher. Typically, I don't like to compare Aqua to Sora because I believe the two characters in general have different weights, just like how Roxas is a total rock when you play him. But I do believe the most comparable air finisher to Aqua's here is Sora's Magnet Burst in 2FM. Both attacks have the character suspended in air to deal a large area of effect damage, and then they fall. Aqua can defend with either barrier to block or cartwheel to dodge. I checked and the cartwheel I would say has a lot of invincibility frames on it, but it is not infinite. One time when I tried purposely mistiming cartwheel and then mashing, I wasn't able to avoid getting hit, so that's good. Hopefully it doesn't become an invincible cartwheel later on, but I don't really see any reason why it would. In the demo, Aqua's basic combo is 4 hits and 1 finisher, so she functions as if she has 2 combo plus equipped. You can also keep attacking even without landing hits, so it also seems like she has the combo master ability on. Strangely, when you activate Spellweaver in the demo, you are now able to do a 6-hit combo instead of a 5-hit combo, so when she has Spellweaver on, it's like she has 3 combo plus on. For this demo, Aqua has 4 magic spells: Firaga, Blizzaga, Thundaga, and Curaga. Firaga shoots out a homing fireball that explodes to an area of effect on impact. I have a hunch that just in terms of raw damage, this one does the most, but I'm not entirely sure. Since this is the only spell that doesn't leave some sort of effect on the enemy afterward, it would make sense that it does the best damage-wise. Blizzaga shoots out a homing ice missile that, when touched, blooms into a giant ice crystal. It will freeze the enemy that it lands on, letting you follow up your Blizzard spell with some other attacks while the Heartless is unable to move. Thundaga causes multiple thunderbolts to strike an enemy and then move outward. The way this thunder spell works is not like Birth by Sleep, where you have a designated area where thunder can only land near you, but instead is most similar to Kingdom Hearts 2, where it can go as far as your target lock goes and hits instantly. When enemies are hit by this spell, they do get temporarily stunned, but they break out much faster than the Blizzard's freeze. It seems like in this state enemies are still able to move, but they won't attack you for a small time. The Curaga spell restores HP as expected. Now, I didn't test this spell much because I simply didn't use it that much. I probably relied more on items for healing, but something to note is it seems to only take about 50% of MP. Now, this could play into what I told you earlier that I suspected. It feels like you have double the standard MP in the demo, but maybe that's not true and maybe they truly did change Cure to only take half MP. The magic combo system also returns from Kingdom Hearts 2. By that I mean, in Kingdom Hearts 2 you can use magic spells as part of your combo up to the finisher. And the finisher magic spells have a different animation from the normal magic spells. This demo's magic spells also have finisher versions, as you can see here. But they took this magic combo system from Kingdom Hearts 2, and it looks like they took it a step further. Holy crap, dude, that thunder. What I mean by that is, in Kingdom Hearts 2, you can jump and use magic, but when you jump and use a spell, you will only get one cast at a time, and you can't air combo magic to magic without being in a drive form. In 0.2, you can jump and chain magic in the air like an air combo. I also want to say that magic in general just feels faster in the demo than it does in Kingdom Hearts 2, but maybe it just feels that way because I can now move while casting magic instead of being pinned down to the area I pressed the button. The magic feels similar to the fluidity you would get while casting magic in a drive form on the move in Kingdom Hearts 2, except now this is the standard instead of being drive only. Shotlocks also make a return in this demo, and I can say I was sort of pleasantly surprised by them this time. The first big change to shotlocks lies in the focus gauge itself. Using a full charged max shotlock will take about 75% of this gauge, so in the demo there's no way that you can use shotlocks multiple times. And building up the gauge has changed too. You can no longer gain focus when simply attacking enemies. The only way to increase it is to pick up actual focus orbs from defeated enemies and lampposts in the environment. This helps a little and makes it so that the focus gauge doesn't recover so quickly. As for the shotlock itself, it's basic prism rain, maximum of 3 volleys. The damage output doesn't seem too high. If you're able to time 3 volleys, I would guess it takes about maybe half of a full boss type enemy HP bar. What I think is really cool is the cosmetic changes they made to it. When you hold R1, you get a cool whoosh sound effect and the music gets quiet and time is in slow motion while you target the enemies. It makes it seem like you're doing something much cooler, like Matrix style targeting your enemies, instead of in Birth by Sleep where it felt more like basic targeting but the atmosphere and environment was not changed. Although the one drawback to this could be that it makes shotlock targeting easier to do since enemies are much less likely to attack you now that they're in slow motion, but it isn't like targeting wasn't easy before. The second mechanic here that returns from Birth by Sleep is the style change, a callback to command styles from that game. The one in this demo is the Spellweaver, a very familiar style change to anyone who played Birth by Sleep. The way it works is a little different. You unlock the option to turn it on in a reaction command after casting a magic spell. I was able to get the prompt to appear after casting as little as one magic spell sometimes. I don't exactly know how it works, but it is significant that here you choose when you want to activate it. The game will give you a 30-second window to choose if you want to use it or not. In Birth by Sleep, if you qualify to activate Spellweaver, the game just forces you into the style, disregarding whatever you were doing before. Also in Birth by Sleep, this auto activation can actually screw you, because you don't get invincibility frames upon activation. So if you happen to style change right when an enemy is attacking, you have no way of getting out and you can actually die this way, in a completely unfair, stupid way. In the demo, I was able to activate Spellweaver right as I was getting attacked, and the enemy's attack went right through my Spellweaver animation. So you do get iframes for this, but I would still say it's tight. The second you get control, you can take damage if you aren't defending. They could have tossed in a few more iframes, but it's still an improvement over the Birth by Sleep wide openness, absolutely. Spellweaver doesn't seem to beef up your magic, but changes your combo style to this strike raid looking style, just like in Birth by Sleep. Except the combos here are noticeably faster than the Birth by Sleep version, and make the Birth by Sleep version honestly just look terrible at this point. When I comboed Spellweaver in Birth by Sleep, it felt like something was tying me down sort of. But in 0.2 I felt free and the combo was actually faster than Aqua's default combos, so that was nice. After you build up the gauge over the command menu, you will unlock another reaction command to allow you to use the Finish Spellweaver. Again, in Birth by Sleep, if you get this Finish command to appear, it won't let you attack and you must use the Finish command to end your command style in order to attack regularly with the X button again. Here though, the Finish appears as a reaction command, so you can choose to ignore it and let your Spellweaver wear off normally, or use the Finish. The Finish is similar to how it was in Birth by Sleep. Aqua spins to attack enemies near her while you have control, except they change the way the damage output is. Instead of that constant damage Spellweaver gave you in Birth by Sleep, it looks like it limits itself to landing one hit per enemy maybe every half second or so. They also changed it so the Spellweaver is Blizzard themed, and at the end Aqua puts her Keyblade up and a giant snowflake appears. The cool thing is, if you touch enemies with the snowflake, it does actually freeze them. Talk about a big finish. A small interesting note is that Spellweaver combos cannot activate the gears you find, neither can magic. Only Aqua's default combo finisher can do this. I don't know if they would change this or not. One thing I got around to finally testing is Heartless Retaliation. Heartless Retaliation is something found in Kingdom Hearts 2 where the Heartless are programmed to hit you back if you hit them first. It's one of the more subtle mechanics in that game, but it fits in with the whole revenge theme that the Kingdom Hearts 2 mechanics have going on, like the famed boss revenge value mechanic. So if they're thinking about something as small as Heartless Retaliation, maybe if we're lucky they're also thinking of bringing back revenge value for bosses. I first got excited about this when last year's Kingdom Hearts 3 Jump Festa trailer, the player looked like they were deliberately demonstrating that the Heartless attack back after you attack, just like Kingdom Hearts 2. So I thought to test it here, and unfortunately, Heartless here are not programmed to hit you back after you attack them. Maybe it's still in Kingdom Hearts 3 like it was shown off in that trailer, but it's definitely not in this demo Heartless's AI. Speaking of Heartless, there are 3 types you encounter in this demo. The first of these is the Shadow. Shadows have all their basic attacks from the previous games, not much has changed about them at all. I think it's cool how now when they go in the ground they aren't a flat texture but an actual shadow in the ground until they reappear. The second Heartless is this flying bat thing. It has a ranged attack where it shoots at you and it spins at you. It seems like when there are multiple of these guys, they coordinate with each other so that they all spin at you at once, which is pretty cool. The last Heartless, and probably the most powerful, is this big glob guy here. He's actually a fire elemental Heartless, as you can tell by the fire on his head. If you try to cast fire on him, it will actually do no damage at all. In fact, it could make him more powerful, because if he has low HP and you cast fire, he will go berserk. The berserk mode can also be triggered by just hitting him with anything but Blizzard while he has low HP. His berserk mode causes him to briefly go invincible, plow right through you, and then fly around. When he goes way high up, it's a signal that he's about to crash down onto you for his final attack. You can stop this berserk mode early by hitting him with Blizzard, or do what I do to look cool by waiting for him to come at you and then block and counterblast him. Although this Heartless is powerful, you can easily destroy him by just casting 3 Blizzards immediately and he'll never even get a chance to go berserk. Okay, before talking about the boss, let's talk battle quotes. Aqua during the demo has all her battle grunts from Birth by Sleep, and when she takes damage before the boss battle, her damage quotes sound like Birth by Sleep too. But weirdly enough, there are a couple of brand newly recorded lines in here. One is, when you activate Spellweaver, you have a chance of Aqua saying something I've never heard her say before. Also, strangely, when you take damage from the boss, and only the boss, you can hear new damage grunts for Aqua. It sounds like they've recorded new battle quotes and they just haven't implemented them yet in the demo. Here's hoping. Alright guys, it's been a long time, but welcome back to Boss Busters Mini Edition. Today we're looking at the Devil's Wave, a bunch of shadows bunched up together to become one massive entity. You can find it in the demo by activating all 5 gears and then heading to the Castle of Dreams. Now this boss is probably meant to be a first boss, so as a result it is quite simple, and there is only one stage to this fight. I like to start off the fight by using my full shotlock on him to get some early damage. After this, get some distance, and this is where you want to watch carefully. If he's just standing there, shoot some fire or blizzard at him while still keeping a close eye on him. As soon as you see it starting to go up, get ready to block with square right when he lands on you. Use Counter Blast after it disperses into a bunch of single shadows to kill these single shadows, giving you extra HP, MP, and focus. Don't get too comfortable though, because the shadows on the ground will get orange eyes again, and this means he is about to resurface right under you. When you see this, block again and use Counter Blast to damage him. After this, you can hit him a couple of times while at the same time trying to get some distance so he doesn't start juggling you. And this is where we repeat the same strategy. Fire a couple of spells, block him when he crashes down, and get orbs from shadows, and then block again when he resurfaces. If you ever get a chance to activate Spellweaver, do it and use its finish when you can to get some easy damage. After repeating this process for a little bit, it should finally give in after roughly 3 bars of health and... Congratulations! You have just defeated the Devil's Wave! Or have you? Nomura says this is just the beginning and it isn't at full power, so prepare for tough times ahead. Alright, I went really into detail with this demo, huh? That's what you get for putting a Kingdom Hearts demo in my hands. So my overall thoughts on the demo, I loved it. I would say that it actually exceeded my expectations, and I probably wouldn't ever expect myself to say something like this about 0.2 so early, but if I had to describe it, yes, it is a hybrid between Birth by Sleep and I would say 2FM only because I have not yet played Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, when you say Birth by Sleep hybrid, it's frightening because Birth by Sleep did so much wrong gameplay wise. But to me, what it feels like is they took Aqua, ported her character, her fighting style, and a couple of her Birth by Sleep abilities like Shotlock and Style Change into a 2FM-like environment. And on top of that, better movement all around over 2FM. Now, I'm not saying 0.2 is better than 2FM right now or anything like that. I'm just saying what it feels like to me. The true mystery for me lies in the team's balancing. Will they be able to keep the balance with every move having its own use for different situations, nothing just steamrolling enemies and, everything generally at an equal level of power? That is something we can't get a feel for from the demo, but I hope for the best. But just feeling the game mechanically, it does feel robust, and whenever I got off from playing, I found myself excited to go back and give it another go, just because it was so much fun. No clunkiness, everything flows so well. I feel like when I press a button, I get exactly what I wanted to get, and I'm really happy about all of this. I'm pleasantly surprised. I knew the demo would be fun, but it did exceed my expectations by quite a bit. And that's really all for my thoughts on the demo, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow I will upload my raw gameplay footage of the demo if you want to just see a full walkthrough. Thanks again. Hey guys, got a little surprise here for you for everyone who watched to the end. Every single one of you who did watch to the end and are seeing this right now, I just want you to know that I really appreciate you coming to my videos and watching it entirely, because on YouTube, what helps your video get recommended to others and helps your video get boosted up is when a lot of the audience watches the entire video to the end and you have good retention. So all of you guys who are watching my videos to the end, I got a little treat for you, something to give back. It's not too much, but it's definitely something I can give to you. So remember at Comic-Con, you may have heard that they were giving away these Kingdom Hearts 2.8 pins, these little buttons, and they are, I think, exclusive to New York Comic-Con. They gave one out to everyone who played the demo, but if you weren't there, you couldn't get one. Thanks to me going, I was very lucky, and the people at the Square Enix booth were extremely nice and friendly to me. They know who they are. Thank you so much. They actually hooked me up with a little bag here, and this has some extra pins for me to give away to my audience. I have just about 17 of these to give away, a little bag full, and I'm going to be giving them out to any of you guys who saw this message right now. In order to get one of these from me, to get a chance of getting one, you have to be subscribed. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? And then, of course, give the video a thumbs up, hit the like button, and then write me a comment. And I want you to write me a comment just explaining what do you think in this video was the most insightful thing, or what do you think you learned about the demo that you didn't know before? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for 0.2? What do you think about the demo after what I told you? All that. And if your comment is insightful and nice and, you know, I like it, I will pick you for one of these pins, and I will be sending you a personal message on YouTube. I'll also probably reply to your comment just to remind you, because a lot of people don't really get the personal messages. And yeah, that's your chance to have me mail you out one of these New York Comic Con 2.8 pins. Thank you guys again so much for watching and all the support you give me. I've been Sir All-in-One, and I'll catch you guys later.